In this video tutorial, you're going to learn how to make this 3D model, which is titled Problem 1-13, and the technical drawing. Just a quick shout out to myself for having an organized folder. If you have a nice organized folder like I do, please let me see it and give you a quick shout out as well. So let's get started with Problem 1-13 here. So start a new part. And we're going to standard IPT. You can do it like that, or if you go to this little arrow and click part. Starting a new sketch, I'm going to click on the XZ plane. Make sure my top is right side up. And I'm going to click and draw a rectangle that is 2 by 1. Finishing my sketch. I extrude that by 1.25 inches. And then on the side, I'm going to right click new sketch, and I'm going to be cutting away at this with the shape I create. So click project geometry, click on that side, click on your line tool, and let's look at the already finished one. So we're going to need to create something that looks like this. So if you want to pause the video and look at these dimensions, you can, but I'm going to draw them on the active model and cut that away. So essentially, you'll need to draw from the top line an angled line, a vertical line, a horizontal line, and another angled line. And let's look at those dimensions. So that's 0.25 here, 0.25 here, 0.25 here. So click on dimension, find the point of the line, click on it, and then find the bottom. That's how you dimension lines like that. That's between here and here, 0.25. And that's also how you find angles. So let's go back to that sketch. Yeah, that's 0.25. So this right here is 0.25. From here to here, I think I saw it's 0.5. Yep. And then, so this line is going to be 0.45, and then from there to there. So this line is 0.45. And from here to here, what was it, 0.5? Is that all my dimensions? Let's go back. 0.5. Yay. Am I missing anything? Nope. Alright, so there's... Wait, am I? 0.45. 0.5. It just... I get a little confused if my things aren't lining up like the examples. Okay, and then make sure that you close up that shape. So you're going to click on the line tool and connect those dots. Finish sketch. Click on extrude. Sometimes it won't like pick the right shape, like it's doing to me right now. So if you zoom in and like move your mouse towards an edge, or like even inside of a corner, there we go. See that? Oh, it went away. Just be patient with it. If anyone has a solution to this, I'd love to hear it. There we go. Then I'm going to click on the cut, all, and OK. Okay, now we need to then, so let's look at my next sketch on the already completed model. So it's basically a cutaway. And let's look at the extrusion. If I edit the feature, I extrude cut it by 0.75. So on this surface right here, new sketch, click on rectangle, and from here up, you can go past the part. And dimension from the side to the edge, 0.5, and from the edge to here, 0.5. Now if you want a coincident constraint the top to a corner, that's fine. Finish sketch, extrude, cut, select that surface and make it 0.75 for the distance. And then click OK. Let's go back to our finished model. Alright, we can easily cut out the holes, these holes on one surface. So let's go back to our part. On either this one or this one, doesn't matter. Right click, new sketch. And go ahead and click circle. I'm going to draw a circle here, and circle here. And then we'll add the dimensions. So let's look at the drawing. This time we're looking at the drawing. So this says 2x by diameter 0.2. That means there's two holes here. The 2x is a multiplier. So diameter is 0.2. And it looks like it's off center a little bit from this line to the center, and from the edge to the center is 0.25. So click on dimension, click on your circle. Make sure, so here's something that I see people messing up on a lot. When they click dimension, they click on the circle. Right now mine is set to diameter, but if you right click and click on dimension type, you can change that to radius or diameter. For this, we're leaving it on diameter. So the diameter is 0.2. And let's click on this guy, make that 0.2. And then the diameter for the big one in the middle is going to be 0.5. Okay. So from the center to this line, 0.26. From the center to the edge, from the center to the edge, dimension, I don't know what's working. Click on that, 0.25. Alright, do the same to this guy right here, but the opposite. So that's 0.25. And then from here to here is 0.26. Alright, we're going to click on, let's go back to the drawing. So that circle is basically in the center, which means that the center to the edge is going to be 1. And it doesn't give me a distance downward. Uh-oh. So this drawing is missing some information. It looks like the bottom of the circles are aligned. Let's go to this. Edit sketch. It doesn't give that information here either. Interesting. I'm going to assume that they're on the same. Like if I were to draw a line, right? No, they're not. They're not on the same plane. Alright, let's dimension the center to here, and let's see what that is. 0.430. Gonna get 0.4 to save ourselves from any confusion. I make up most of these parts, so. Alright, dimension the center to the top. as 0.4. Then click on your line tool and click and draw from the center of the circle to the top of this. Make sure it's a straight vertical line. Do the same on the other side. And then close up that shape. Click your trim tool and trim that half of the circle. And let's look at what dimensions we need. I don't need to lock anything. Finish your sketch. And you should be able to easily click cut all. It should let you select these pretty easily. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Alright, the last thing we have to do is that hole on this surface. So new sketch on that surface. And let's see where that is located. So that's located. I don't have a location dimension on this either. What's wrong with me? I'm making parts all funny. Let's edit that sketch and see where that is. It's centered with all of that. Okay. So click on your circle. Well, first click project geometry and project geometry of that surface we're drawing on. And so Inventor is really smart. If you like move your mouse over the midpoint, you'll see that green line, and then the extension line pops up. And then it'll do the same for the left side that you see here. You just click, and what's the, I should have looked at the dimension. 0.5 is the diameter. So 0.5. If you want the dimension for the side there, it's 0.5. And then from here to here, it's 0.375. From the center to the edge, like the far edge, it's 1. And then from, well, yeah, finish sketch, extrude cut. Cool. And then make sure you save that as problem 1-13. So I'm going to click on save. Uh-oh, I don't know why it's in my Automate Blocks folder. Oh, it's just, there we go, models. So problem 1-13, example, this is my example lesson, save. You're going to start a new drawing. And you'll change the sheet size to size A, so right click sheet 1, edit sheet, size A, delete your large ANSI title block, insert the small boy, click base, place this front view, top view, and side view in ISO view, and click OK. And then in the Annotate tab, start dimensioning the part, just like you see this one right here. So pause the screen, start placing the same exact dimensions with the addition of the location of this dimension here. So click on dimension and add this dimension. Okay, we're gonna have to move this guy over. And the addition of, this is missing a center mark. Okay, a center mark, there we go. This needs a dimension from here to here. And it also needs a dimension from the center down just like that. Okay. So, if you haven't paused the video just yet, pause the video so you can see the correct dimensions. And also, you're going to want to change your fonts to Technic. So right click on your dimension text. Well, yeah. tap escape before because it was still selected. And then edit dimension style. My menu's going to pop here in just a second. Okay, I'm still here. Don't worry, it's just being slow. Okay. And then in the text plus right here, the note text, change the font to Technic. Click on that, yes, and also Technic, yes. Annotation, alright, save and close, and that should have changed it. There we go. Alright, and then save that and send that to the printer. Screenshot it or export it as a PDF to submit for credit.